Last year, more than 12,000 Americans died from overdoses linked to prescription anxiety medications. Today, 17 million people are actively taking drugs like Xanax, Valium, and Klonopin. It is a $3 billion industry, built entirely on chemical anxiety suppression, built on severe physical dependency, built on a neurological mechanism that the Carmelite nuns of Paris had already solved in the year 1379, using a plant that grows like a weed. This is the story of a plant the ancients called the elixir of life, a leaf that works through the exact same brain pathways as the drugs hospitalizing thousands of Americans every year. And it is one you can grow in a pot on your porch for the cost of a single pharmacy copay. Welcome to nature's lost vault. The archive opens in Paris. The year is 1379. A Carmelite nun at the Abbey of St. Just is distilling something over an open fire. Angelica root, lemon peel, coriander, and one primary foundational leaf steeped in wine. The recipe would survive for 600 years under the name eau de carmes. King Charles V of France drank it. Louis XIV patented it. Louis XV? Louis XVI. The formula passed under French royal seal as a closely guarded state secret, and the foundation of every single version was always the same: lemon balm. Melissa officinalis. The plant is native to the eastern Mediterranean. The Greeks named it melissa, their word for honey, because bees would never abandon a hive where it grew. Avicenna, the Persian physician who wrote the Canon of Medicine in 1025, prescribed it for one specific purpose. In Latin, the prescription reads, "It causes the mind and heart to become merry." That phrase moved across 400 years of European herbalism without changing a syllable. Paracelsus, the Swiss physician who essentially invented modern chemistry in the 1500s, went further. He called lemon balm the elixir of life. Not as a metaphor. He believed it could extend human lifespan. He believed it was the single most important plant growing in Europe, capable of chasing away melancholy and protecting the brain. Those claims sounded like legend. But the modern pharmacology is violently real. In 2007, a research team at the University of Ottawa ran a systematic bioassay. They tested 10 plants traditionally used for anxiety against a single target, GABA transaminase. This is the enzyme your body uses to destroy GABA, your brain's primary calming neurotransmitter. When GABA levels drop, panic and anxiety rise. Block that enzyme, and GABA accumulates. The brain quiets down. The research team tested all 10 plants. Lemon balm was the strongest inhibitor of GABA transaminase of every one of them. They identified the compound responsible, rosmarinic acid. This compound is found throughout the plant's leaves. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, accumulates in brain tissue, and achieves the same calming outcome as the class of drugs known as benzodiazepines. But it works through a completely different and far safer mechanism. Benzodiazepines, the drugs inside your Xanax or Valium bottle, work by binding directly and artificially to your brain's GABA receptors. They are effective. They are also brutally addictive. Between 1996 and 2013, prescriptions in the United States grew by 67%, reaching 135 million per year. Yale addiction specialists now describe benzodiazepine dependency as a secondary epidemic following opioids. Lemon balm does not force your receptors to fire. It prevents your brain from destroying its own natural GABA. It raises your brain's calming chemistry without mimicking it artificially. No dependency data, no overdose risk. The FDA placed it on the generally recognized as safe list under 21 CFR Part 182. In 2004, A double-blind, placebo-controlled trial at Northumbria University gave volunteers a single standardized dose. Within 1 hour, anxiety scores dropped measurably and mood improved without sedation. Cognitive performance tests showed improved memory recall. Researchers noted the effects were qualitatively similar to prescription dose benchmarks. Then came the Alzheimer's finding. In 2010, an Iranian clinical trial treated patients with moderate Alzheimer's disease, giving a daily lemon balm tincture for 4 months. The treated group showed significantly less agitation, less wandering, and measurably better cognitive scores versus placebo. The mechanism is acetylcholinesterase inhibition. Lemon balm blocks the enzyme that destroys acetylcholine in the brain. That is the exact same mechanism used by Aricept, the leading prescription Alzheimer's drug, which costs $300 a month. Aricept cannot be grown in a pot. Lemon balm can. By 2023, a randomized double-blind trial published in Frontiers in Pharmacology measured the effect of a standardized lemon balm phospholipid extract against placebo for 3 weeks. The treatment group showed significant reductions in both anxiety scores and insomnia severity. In 2024, a systematic review in Nutrients called the accumulating evidence for its anxiolytic and sleep effects clinically promising, and it called for larger trials. The European Medicines Agency issued a traditional use registration for lemon balm in 2013, based on 30 years of documented safety data. Germany never stopped prescribing it. French pharmacies still carry it today under the name Klosterfrau Melissengeist. The United States, which consumes more anxiety medication per capita than any other country on Earth, treats it as a tea. So why has your doctor never mentioned it? In 1994, an obscure law called the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act passed through Congress with almost no public debate. Pharmaceutical and supplement industry lobbyists had spent years pushing it through. Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah, whose state housed the largest supplement manufacturers in the country, co-authored it. The law created a fundamental, permanent divide. Patented chemical drugs can be prescribed as treatments for disease. Natural supplements cannot. An herb can be sold in a grocery store. It cannot be recommended by your doctor as a treatment for clinical anxiety. It cannot appear on a prescription pad. It cannot be the subject of a clinical trial funded by any institution with investment expectations because it cannot be patented. No patent means no return on investment. No return means no funding. No funding means no large-scale trials. No large-scale trials means your doctor has no FDA-approved evidence base to stand on. The structure was not designed to suppress lemon balm specifically. It was designed to ensure that anything growing freely in a garden can never legally compete with anything sold under a corporate patent. Lemon balm was obsolete as a commercial pharmaceutical target before the ink on that law dried. It had been in common use for 2,400 years. You cannot patent 2,400 years. The result is a dark pharmacological paradox. A natural compound, working through the exact same neural pathway as drugs responsible for 12,000 annual deaths, is treated by American medicine as nothing more than a sleepy tea. This is not a supplement with no mechanism. It is a plant with a real, measurable, documented neurological impact. One your doctor cannot prescribe and your insurance will not cover. It grows in any garden, any pot, any window box. Once established, it spreads aggressively. The leaves smell of lemon and honey. If you want to use it, harvest the leaves before the plant flowers for maximum rosmarinic acid concentration. Steep 2 tablespoons of fresh leaves or 1 tablespoon of dried leaves in hot water for 10 minutes. Do not use boiling water. The active volatile compounds are heat sensitive. Cover the cup while it steeps. You are trapping the medicine inside. One vital note, because lemon balm is a real medicine, it carries real interactions. The plant inhibits thyroid-stimulating hormone. It is strictly contraindicated for anyone with hypothyroidism. Because it acts on the GABAergic system, do not combine it with prescription sedatives without medical supervision. There is no mystery about why lemon balm disappeared from clinical medicine. Plants that grow freely, multiply without permission, cost nothing per dose, and work through mechanisms that pharmaceutical chemistry spends decades trying to replicate in patentable form are not mysterious. They are inconvenient. They grow in the margins of a system that profits most when your cure requires a monthly subscription. King Charles V kept this formula as a state secret. The Carmelite order guarded it for 200 years. You can grow it on your porch by Tuesday afternoon. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe to Nature's Lost Vault and hit the bell. Every like and every share keeps this knowledge where it belongs, in hands that can actually use it. The next vault opens soon.